What are y'all doing? We're catching up on the chat here. What we got? No scam field today? I don't know, I found... Like, when I was looking for topics to talk about, I actually spent a good chunk of time today. There's not much going on with Star Citizen, that's my main focus, and the stuff that I found with Starfield was either people just shitting on it because they just don't like parts of the game, or people doing like 30-minute playthroughs. Both of which I'm not really that keen on reacting to people just shitting on the game, because a lot of the issues that they end up bringing up, because I was curious and I'm like, maybe it's worth reacting to some of them. A lot of the issues that they're bringing up are just like, well, that's pretty common for a Bethesda game. You know, like a lot of the issues that they're talking about, it's like, well, it's a Bethesda game, so, you know, it is what it is. You're still gonna buy it when it releases tomorrow? Don't know if you're gonna like it. Well, you got 2 hours. If you get it on Steam, you got 2 hours to work out if you like it or not. Honestly, like, I'm not gonna buy Starfield yet. I'm probably gonna wait. We'll get the Game Pass for 10. That's what I was actually thinking about doing. Like, if I was gonna get it, I'd just get Game Pass for a month. It's super, super bad right now. What's the context behind that one there, Ozzel? What the game needs is a mod to delete the campaign. Is the progress of the game like, I'll understand after an hour? Okay. Like, from my understanding, the first thing that you end up doing in Starfield, like, you're locked into having to do the campaign stuff, which is pretty common for Bethesda games. It's like, they use that time to teach you the game mechanics. And then they put you in a position where it's like you can continue with the story or just, you know, branch off and do whatever the hell you want. Kind of, well, it depends, like, you know, Bethesda games are more or less like, they follow a formula of how they work. You know, your main campaign, and then you can branch off once you've gotten through the first bit. Like, it really depends on if it's open world or not. But like, if you're doing another playthrough, there's no way for you to skip it most of the time in Bethesda games. The story is super bad. Well, you know, from what I saw of the, what was it, the start? It's pretty much Mass Effect. Yeah, that's almost how Mass Effect goes. Except, you're doing a mission to rescue someone, and then you can't touch the alien artifact. End up being called Starborn? Okay. Called Gravity something. Like, for me, it's... I would just branch off straight away. Like, I'd just be like, yeah, fucking, once I get past the first little bit of the story and I can start doing my own thing, I'd be like, yeah, I'm going off to do whatever. I'll get sidetracked, go and become a space pirate, do like 10 boarding actions and get bored of it. Things unlock with the story? That's shit. Yeah, that's going against what other Bethesda games have done in the past. I remember Fallout 3. I love Fallout 3. You could do everything without even doing the campaign. Yeah, piracy. It's literally just kill everyone and the ship is yours. Like, I need to look at the shipbuilder, but what I'd like to do is just grab all those ship pieces and just, you know, mash them together. Piracy is fun. I don't know, like, I'd need to play it to really get a good feel for it. You kill the engines, board. And shoot the Nerf gun. Like, for me, that's Star Citizen piracy already. We're already doing that, man. Well, except for killing the engines, but, you know, self-death the ship. Well, back in the day, technically distortion's still viable, but, you know, using distortion damage to disable ships. It's godly if we compare. Yeah, because they follow systemic design, whereas Starfield is kind of just hammed in by the looks of it. Like, I'm interested to see what the mods do with it. I'm really interested to see what the mods do with Starfield. I wonder how long it is before we see, like, even just a co-op, you know, mod for Starfield. Whether or not they'd pull that off. EMP, yeah. Don't say that too loud, mate. They'll bloody, they'll throw it in. They'll get it in there. Chris Roberts hears that idea, he'll be like, ooh. Probably the biggest thing that I'd like out of it, though, is the shipbuilder. Like, I like the look of the shipbuilder. As far as I'm concerned, that's what CIG should have done. That's the path that they should have gone. Well, I imagine we're going to see some Starfield inspired bloody spacesuits soon. I saw a screenshot of somebody who built the caterpillar in the shipbuilder, which I thought was really cool. Yeah. Alright. I think it's time we got started. Design caterpillar modules with UI like that would be cool. Yeah, Star Citizen, it was a struggle, like just trying to find things worth reacting to. Like Nelson B threw down a whole bunch of stuff, and after I went through it, I'm just, a lot of it I was just like, yeah. I think there's one item that I grabbed from one thing. Oh, what was it? Oh, you guys will see it soon anyway. Like I see Khaleesi still, Greasy Khaleesi still on his campaign to just shit on Starfield. what I thought was interesting was the Shanghai Bar Citizen and the video that came out of that. And I saw Salty Mike's reaction and I tried watching it and I struggled. I actually stopped, like, I think it was like 10 minutes in because the audio from the video was that bad. There was another video that was suggested that featured some clips from it, and it looked like the guy who put the video together had done some audio cleanup, but it wasn't of the whole thing. So I ended up spending some time today doing what I could. I managed to get a hold of a copy of the video, and I was trying to do what I could to actually clean up the audio for that video so that it would at least be a bit, you know, be a bit easier to hear, better to understand. I'm also put it through went through and jump cut the silences out of it to try and get the video to flow a bit better. It cuts like 3 minutes out, 3 minutes of like silences and things like that. Part of those silences, the audio is going to sound a little bit weird in places because there's times where they're clapping, and because of some of the processes that I put the audio through to try and clean it up, the claps don't sound right. You'll know what I mean. But what we're going to do, we're going to switch over to this scene here, and this should be it. I'm hoping it is. Should be it. Should be what you want to be seeing. Let's see if it shows up. It should be showing up. Hold on. Why is it not showing the background? Is that the... Right, I can do this. I can add... Write a window capture. I've disappeared, but I'm still here. Alright, let's see how this goes. There's no YouTube comments on this video. There won't be any YouTube comments because Twitch doesn't allow you to do multi-streaming. So this is only Twitch commentary. Yeah, let's see if this actually works. Apparently not. What are you doing to me? What's going on up there? Why is it doing that? It's just a tiny little square. I've seen the German one. Also, holy shit. Thank you very much for throwing out those bloody subs. Mikey, you're welcome, man. We rated his stream last time. Right now I'm going through some technical difficulties trying to get this to actually display when... Alright, gonna come here, gonna go back there. Did it fix it? No. Why is it not showing the background? This is a pain. Alright, let's try something else. Let's see, audio, browser, display capture. Alright, let's just do a display capture. Primary monitor, yep. There we go. It's covering everything. It's okay, I'll fix it down here. Slap it down there, alright. Are we the bad guys following you through quantum? Maybe. Rid of that group. Don't need it. Alright. So, just scrub back a little bit. So this video is from the Shanghai Bar Citizen. A guy named Stuart GT ripped it from a Chinese website. I think it was called Bilibili. That's what Salty Mike was saying. I got it from Salty Mike's Discord, pulled the video from there, but he extracted the audio into Audacity, tried doing a whole bunch of stuff there, took it to Adobe AI to clean it up a bit, brought it back into Audacity to just tweak the volumes a little bit, and then put it back through Adobe Premiere, exported as a 1080p video. But prior to the export, I did a jump cut all the way through it to get rid of the silences and little clicks and clacks and little pops that happen. So yeah, this video is, it's going to seem like it's going to be a bit machine gun like in terms of like delivery of content. The audio still isn't the greatest, but the hopefully what I'm hoping is that it's a bit more legible than the one that Salty Mike was reacting to, because holy shit, that was bad. I'm surprised he struggled through it. Okay, thank you for the follow. So Audacity, I actually like Audacity a lot. Not only because it's free, but I also have worked with it a lot. But yeah, let's listen to this Shanghai Bar Citizen Q&A with Chris and Sandy.
How are you doing? I can't hear that.
I can hear it now, yeah.
Just hear one of the audience, that's all. 说还是没有听到他的声音，可以大一点。Yeah, I can't hear any of that. In fact, I will say it's incredibly impressive. I think this is more like a citizen con than a bar citizen. That's the largest gathering I've ever seen as a bar citizen. It's fantastic to see so many people.
I think they had like
China, Shanghai coming. It's brilliant.
Was it like 700?
如果说那个这个bar citizen的活动在我们的上海是说是一件非常伟大的事情啊，甚至在 citizen con 感觉都没有我们这样来的规模。
I wish we could hear that.
Yeah, it's really weird. You can't actually hear it.
I think it's weird.
But it's fantastic. Alright. 那么接下来呢，我会对吧？这个既然这么久，对吧？
They're just starting their Q&A here. There's obviously audio issues, so for whatever reason, Chris and Sandy can't hear what's going on in the crowd. But I believe they can hear old mate. He's obstructed by the chat here, but they can hear him. He's down here. We create... Mikey, do you guys create groups in-game when pirating, or is there like a system to make a clan, like shared money, shared XP, shared ships? So, I run 4 organizations. 2 of them are pirate orgs. a logistics org, and then a criminal organization. Pretty much, players will get together, form a party, go look for targets to pirate the targets, whoever sells the cargo splits the loot amongst the team. Since you're here, Mikey, what I'll do, I will show you. Where is it? Where's my channel? You'd think I'd have my channel. Get a link for you, man. That is my main pirate organization. Yeah, so it's not like other games, mate, where you get a payout and it's automatically split between people. It's because you're stealing physical cargo, right? So you're grabbing the boxes from somebody's ship, you're putting it on your own ship, and then you're flying it to somewhere that will buy that cargo. And then the credits go into whoever sells that cargo's account, and then it's up to them to then, you know, send out the credits to each of the people. Subbed YouTube, mate. Yeah, go watch those videos there. There's also a tutorial series called the Mongrel Pirate Academy. If you want to learn about piracy there, some of the information is slowly getting outdated, but the basics of piracy and the premise of what's going on is explained there. There's a lot of information there if you're interested in learning more about how piracy gameplay works or just seeing it in action. I actually just dropped a video yesterday from one of the hits at the start of the patch. Yeah, there's no sort of ship sharing mechanics yet. Beyond, you spawn a ship. If they're in your party and you spawn a ship, they can jump in and fly that ship around. But if that ship gets destroyed, you have to claim it. That's fine, Mickey. Like, that's no, Mikey. It's 100% part of the reason why we put those videos out there. No, the pack rats are not an exclusive org. You can join them. They're a casual logistics organization. So the Mongrel Auxiliaries, the Stellar Pack Rat Logistics, and the Merrick's Cartel, they're all casual organizations that have open memberships. Mongrel Squad is the only exclusive organization out of the four. So crime stats are temporary, and there's no long-term reputation that pins you as a career criminal. Because if we had that, buddy, I probably wouldn't be able to go anywhere without fucking security following me around, waiting for me to pounce on someone. Dealers in 2 orgs, yeah. Well, yeah, I think CIG just programmed the game to do that to me, though. Mate, I'll tell you now, like, Star Citizen as a game, you're gonna have a love-hate relationship with it. And the thing is like, watching other people play it, depending on where they're at, either really, sucks you into it, or it'll turn you away from it. Like, right now we're in a patch cycle, like, we're at the end of a patch. There's a new one starting up, so it's in its test phase. But we've got Starfield that's just come out, so a lot of players who play Star Citizen have gone to play Starfield. And even with this free fly going, with, like, it doesn't appear that there's as many players engaged in Star Citizen, and it's more than likely because we're at the end of a patch, so all the regulars, you know, are just kind of waiting for the next patch. The free flyers really don't know what to do, so if they, you know, don't do too well, if they don't have a good experience to start off with, most of them just put the game down and go, I'll try again later. And then we got Starfield, which pulls a lot more people away, because Starfield does have things that people are looking for in Star Citizen in a more complete state. Everyone in your org played for an hour, then jumped back to Star Citizen, then into jail, then got out and repeat. Well, that's the thing, like, Star Citizen is one of those games where, like, I'm keen to play Starfield just as something to try out, which is why, like, the Xbox Game Pass thing I may actually buy into that and just play the game that way. If I can, because I don't have an Xbox anymore. But I've still got an old Microsoft Xbox account, so if I can play games on PC using that pass, then I fucking will. And that way I can just try it out and not commit to it. Yeah, well, I'm more interested in seeing how the mods go for it. Like, I want to know what the modding community does with it. Fuck. I highly doubt that they'd be able to pull it off, but, you know, a multiplayer mod for Starfield, I think, would just blow people away. You know, even if it's, you know, you're on a single server in a single system and there's only like 24 other people, like, just playing in that sort of environment, being able to, you know, group up with your friends. You can bet a lot of Starfield players are going to start playing Star Citizen. It depends on the state of Star Citizen. Like, as far as I'm concerned, like, the people who still play Star Citizen for as long as I have, we're all crazy. We're all fucking crazy, and yeah, it's some people would say it's not healthy, but I'm not too bothered by it. For me, it's not only about the gameplay, it's about the experiences, it's, you know, the social interactions that I get to have with others, you know, building up a piracy empire, making friends along the way, enabling gameplay, helping other people find, you know, more purpose in Star Citizen, you know, showing them the path that they can start on that allows them to extract more value out of the game, so that they at least try and get their money's worth until they decide to put more money into it. Just ends up being a vicious cycle. Yeah, their merchandising for Starfield was kind of insane, especially when they had that smartwatch. I'm just looking at it like, why? Unless it does something to interact with the game, which I don't know if it does. But yeah, it's just becoming one of those things where I think a lot of those companies are just trying to outdo each other's merchandise. Yeah, so insane. Alright. We've gotten super far off topic though. Super far off topic. As you can see, we're really enthralled by Star Citizen at the moment. So this is Shanghai Bar Citizen. Chris and Sandy are about to start getting asked questions. I believe this is where, like, Chris Roberts starts dropping bloody spoilers or something like that. Try clean up the audio as best as I could. We'll see how we go. Hopefully you guys understand, because I at times
我
struggle.
们也是有一段时间没有见到菲利斯罗伯斯，所以在今天我们也要问一些问题啊。So we're gonna ask you some questions. So are you ready for that? So they are the questions from Chinese community.
Very happy to answer some questions. It's wonderful to see so many people that love Star Citizen. So I'm more than happy to answer the question.
OK 他说我被准备访问回答很多的问题，然后他也很高兴看到我们这么多人能够同聚一堂。OK，the first question, of course, how do you think this community, the Chinese community, of course, as you said, in last year we were the biggest bar citizen in Chongqing, the community organized the event. And now, in this year again, in Shanghai, we did like 7-8 times bigger event, just in 1 year. 那么这个首先这个问题呢，我觉得想要了解一下菲利斯罗伯斯对我们这个。
So he's just asking a question. I was just trying to make out what he was saying. Well, trying to ask the question. It sounded like he was trying to ask a question, but I don't think he quite got it out. He was more or less pointing out that, what's it called? Something along the lines of their bar citizen having more people show up than, you know, a citizen con, which is, you know, what is it? Their country has 1 point something billion people in it. It's kind of expected. That said, like 1,700 people for a bar citizen is insane. And I know if we ended up trying doing something like that in Australia, there'd be a lot of fights. I probably wouldn't want to go. Mikey, yeah, get the cutter. 100% get the cutter. The cutter is the best starter ship. Is there a site where you can see all the ships that you can buy? Do you really want to go down that rabbit hole, mate? Give me a second. Oh god. I kind of feel bad doing this to you. So, they call it the pledge store, mate. Just, you want to look at the game packages and sort by price. And just remember, because of the free fly, there are going to be discounted packs. I believe there's actually a discounted cutter pack. I'm going to help you out here, because I don't want you getting ripped off if you can avoid it. Alright, here we go. We're in the Elite 8. Sorry, I'm just looking for it right now. So that's the one that you want to get. That's the one that you want to start with. For starters, it is a, that's the cutter. That's the best starter ship in the game, hands down. It's also discounted at the moment, so instead of it being its usual $60 or I don't know how much it is in euros, it's sitting at 45. And this one comes with 24 months insurance, which right now insurance doesn't matter, but when the game goes live and insurance actually starts mattering, you'll be able to get your ship will have 24 months of basic hull insurance. If you want to know about insurance, feel free to make a post on Spectrum, because everybody wants to know about insurance. CIG's only touched on it lightly, and that was years ago. I'll put it to you this way, mate. You've already done the smart thing by only playing during the free fly. If you're looking to buy in, yeah, right now your ship getting destroyed doesn't matter. Like you've got unlimited insurance right now, but when the game goes live, insurance is going to mean something. When you buy the ship for real money, anything that you buy for real money, and CIG has said this, you will be able to get back anything that you buy with real money. It's just how that's going to happen, they're not 100% sure yet. Because there's this other type of insurance called lifetime insurance, LTI, as you'll learn, where a ship comes with insurance that you don't have to pay for. Now, this is where a lot of people get confused, because when LTI only applies to basic hull insurance, so all ships come with a basic loadout, and that's what your ship will always, based on LTI, will always be returned with. However, the insurance system isn't in the game yet, so none of that matters right now. But in the future, if you want to get a ship with LTI, or you don't want to be worrying about basic hull insurance, try and get a ship with LTI. But at the end of the day, mate, like just play the game. The cutter's a good starting point. 100% the cutter's a good starting point. And as we go into 320, into the next patch, there's features that they've added. There's missions that you can do where you can earn a lot of credits quickly with the cutter, and you'll be able to purchase a ship in game. So yeah, man, like the cutter's the place that you want to start. Nox, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah, like, and I'll you know, Star Citizen only needs to be, well, you only need a, what was it, $45 game package to play Star Citizen. You do not need to buy any other ship at all to play it. Until a wipe, yeah. 100%. But if you manage to get that colors black, you may also find that if you, when you pledge, that some of the free fly ships may still be in your listing for, you know, a few more days. It happens. Yeah, if you bought a Cutlass, well, you use that, man. Yeah, you're gonna need a game package once the free fly ends. Alright. Back to the video. So, yeah. I don't think they really got a question out there. Now, Ome's going to ask questions in, I believe it's Mandarin. He's going to ask questions in Mandarin, and then the crowd's going to shout something at him, and then he asks Chris. See how this goes.
玩家的第一印象、第一感受，因为去年在重庆的我们的玩家线下聚会的时候，他说我们是社区组织的最大规模的一次活动，但是1年之后，在上海，我们的规模就超过了去年7到8倍之多，所以我想问一下他的感受是什么？
对，我得是这样。
Okay.
How do you feel about the ranking system?
We're really excited. That's one of the reasons why.
What happened to the audio? Didn't ask him the question.
So many people came out, Aaron and Todd and John Crew and Tyler and Elliot. I think we have a new community manager for China too as well. I think they're also there. I haven't met yet, but that's wonderful. Yeah, so we're really excited about China and also Asia in general. So we're starting to try to see how we can do more and help you guys play the game and spread the word.
OK，那如果说这个首先对这波玩的印象是我非常印象深刻的，尤其是看到大家的这种热情，尤其是这个他们呢，作为 CIG， 他们也派出了很多的这个管理人员，比如像 Todd、像 John、像 Taylor、像他的弟弟 Aaron Roberts， 今天都来到了我们的现场，所以呢，他感到非常的激动。同时，这个他们呢也在招收这个中文的社区经理，为了以后给中国玩家提供更好的服务。那么他们在这一点上面呢，也会毋庸置疑的继续向前推进。
I wish I knew what he was saying. Like, nothing against these guys, but if he's just repeating what Chris is saying just in Mandarin, I'd just like to be able to cut that part out. So I don't need to hear it a second time in a different language, but at the same time, like, I don't think, like, nobody's actually posted this to YouTube or anything like that yet. They've only posted reactions and bits and pieces. Like, this was pulled from the Chinese internet. No worries, Nelson. Have fun, mate. Catch you later. Yeah, like the Chinese, one of the Chinese websites. I don't know if it's a YouTube equivalent or not. But yeah, it's, even if it just had subtitles, would help. Which I tried using Adobe's. I tried using Adobe's transcript tool to do the English, audio, and it was way off. Like, it was so far off, it was not funny. And it's, even after trying to clean up all this audio, it was just so far off. So yeah, let's push through this audio bit and see what else Chris has to say, because he does talk about Squadron 42.
这项工作，对，总体来说，一切都是太，对，非常美好的。
I'm assuming everybody there has a very high spec PC.
在这里头，我要看到这个面前，我们每个这几位都有一些很高级的这个 PC 不知道是跟哪方说，我要给他解释一下。
I love it.
Yeah, well, I think it's great. Yeah, no, we definitely. I think maybe next year we should plan a bit more, and maybe, like you said, we can come up with some prizes for the company. I know that we're doing a lot of work, for instance, on Marina Commander, so that there'll be an update in the next patch, but we've got much more stuff that's coming for that, so that would also be quite fun stuff to do in the next year one.
那么丹尼首先就是他们非常喜欢，然后如果说确实对于这个看到很多新开的玩家们在这个竞技场，也就是刚刚的狗斗模式中大家玩得非常开心，同时呢他也觉得也要对吧，给予一些玩家一些应得的奖励，同时呢在下一个版本中，这个竞技场指挥官模式这是我们的暗号名称，竞技场指挥官模式呢会得到一些更新，各项内容呢也都会带来一些改变，所以说大家喜欢。同时在明年他们也会做出更多的改变。
Is dogfighting one of the favorite things to do, or what does the community there really enjoy?
好，这是3点问大家的问题。在大家作为中国社区的玩家，你们觉得你们最喜欢的星际公民的玩法是什么？是狗斗吗？还是什么样的玩法？
What question is that? What does the community there enjoy? Like there's 1,700 fucking people there. They're gonna have like a huge bloody range of things that they enjoy. Like, there's one guy, you can't see him because the text is in the way, but he's got his hand up.
Maybe they can have a show of hands for dog fighting or other things within the game.
Sim, right, so they have a lot of problems. Oh, I mean,
So they said the favorite gameplay we love is 30,000.
Is what?
I think he said 30,000, but that's like
30Ks.
Probably break, I'm guessing.
They love 30Ks.
Alright, next question. 刚好说我们其实最喜欢的玩法是这个3连 K 吧，这是我们也是我们经历的最多的玩法。那么下一个问题，我觉得大家应该会很感兴趣。罗伯什么时候真正的来中国一趟跟大家见个面？
Yeah, so I think depending on when, potentially could be next year. We'll have to see. We may be doing a tour towards the end of next year, and there would definitely be a stop in China.
So this is a hint that people are saying is like, oh, this is CRG confirming, or Chris Roberts confirming that they're going to be doing a tour of for Squadron 42's release next year. Which he didn't say that. He was just saying that they're planning on doing a tour next year. It may just be like their Bar Citizen tour, considering that we're getting close to the end of the year. You know, them waiting for an appropriate time to have a little excursion out, company-funded piss trip. You know, I think it's going to be one of those situations where I think people are really reading into this. Like, that's the problem with Chris Roberts, like, that you got now, is like, whenever he shows up on screen, everybody reads into everything that he says, like, so much. It's insane. It is insane.
如果说如果时间条件跟那边都允许的话，那么明年应该就会有人到中国跟大家见面。
So it will be sometime, I would guess, after October 10th would be when we're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
如果
I don't want to spoil what the tour will be about.
对那么可能在10月10号，也就是公民控之后这个时间是更好的，因为他不想就是提前的就把公民控所有的消息都泄露出去。那么我跟他们就是上一场的这个线下的Citizen控公民控是在19年前，那么也是因为这个疫情的原因这个到了23年，我们终于才在这个 LA 恢复这个传统的公民控线下的公民控。那么我问他这个是不是我们可以在中国办一场 Citizen 控？然后我说我们其实已经正在举办。
In the short term, probably it would be more like the event that you're doing now. Longer term, it would be hard to say because I think it's a bit complicated in China when you're publishing. So, for instance, if we were doing something with a local Chinese game publisher, then I think there would be a higher odds of having an actual proper official Citizen Con. But
okay, we're kind of missing context because it seems like the translators are actually in Chris and Sandy's ears, like translating as old mates talking. I think what they've done at the Bar Citizen is obviously collected questions from the crowd. The MC is the one reading out these questions, and then they end up translating the response to the crowd. It sounds like they were talking about a Citizen Con in Shanghai. He's kind of tiptoeing around some of the, about the politics of what they would have to deal with. Game publishers, if you want to publish a game in China, from my understanding, you need a Chinese publisher to be able to release in China. which obviously, you know, because of the political system that China uses, their government is involved with at, you know, different levels. So it's one of those situations where it's like, it's a very delicate subject. They want to push into the market, but they don't want to, you know, commit themselves too much where the code gets stolen, because that's something that happens a lot. A lot of industrial espionage and theft, especially of intellectual property, and with what they're developing, like I'd be, you know, hyper conscious of, you know, the potential of that stuff being stolen more when dealing with a, you know, publisher over there than I would in most other countries. Which is bad, a bad thing to say, but it's an unfortunate reality. Like, it happens.
Definitely the kind of events that's happening right now, we are going to be we are going to be doing.
I mean, I definitely think we can expand on what's being created right here for sure.
就是萝卜说，这个尽管呢，在中国想要举办这样官方的这种活动，或者说以这种形式来举办这种大型的活动，可能还会遇到各种各样的问题或者困难，但是他们呢也会去想办法把这些问题给解决，然后呢，对吧？举办一场这个尝试着去能不能有机会在国内举办一场官方的大型活动，就像现在我们的这种感觉一样。Okay, I will translate first. 首先这个问了一下，就是我知道这个你对我们现在国内的这种发展非常感兴趣，这个游戏社区的发展非常感兴趣。那么我也想知道，你觉得对于中国在各个方面，你最喜欢的部分是什么？是文化，还是包括你也很了解我们中国玩家？我相信在游戏中的各种玩法，还有我们的经验，所以你。
I'm gonna give the MC some credit though. Like, there's long ass sentences that Chris has been saying, like long ass paragraphs, and Old Mate's just doing it off the dome. Like, it's pretty impressive for a translator. You know, normally it's a sentence at a time, and Old Mate's just doing paragraphs.
你觉得最喜欢的那一部分是什么？
Well, Sandy's been to China. I haven't been to mainland China yet, so I'm actually really looking forward to going to mainland China. I want to visit quite a few places like Shanghai, Beijing. I've been to Hong Kong, which I liked when I was back there. It was actually quite a long time ago.
You haven't been to Shanghai?
No, I've never been to mainland China, so I'm actually looking forward to the opportunity to come to mainland China and explore. It's like a huge and pretty beautiful country. So
Shanghai is very cool. It's very modern. They got lots of hip people there. Clearly, look at all these cool people. It'd be fun. I don't know. It's going to be that'd be a lot of fun. I think. Dim sum. You like dim sum? I love dim sum. Shanghai has great food.
显然呢，这个萝卜草的3点呢，对我们这个上海的美食有一点这个馋了，因为好像这个他的同事，也就是CIG 的同事们呢，也给他发了这次活动的很多他们在上海的体验的一些照片，比如说他们在上海尝试的食物等等。所以呢，这个萝卜草觉得上海是一个非常摩登现代的城市，然后也觉得这里的人也非常的酷。萝卜呢说这个他其实还没有造访过中国从来没有，就是中国大陆，所以呢他也非常激动，可能想要来一次，不管是上海还是北京，对，希望他有这个机会。对。
very quickly.
I hope we're cool.
Yeah. But Shanghai, of course, I want to really visit. It'd be kind of fun.
It's a great city. I haven't been for a while, but it's a great city.
那么这个你的同事，包括 Lily、Aaron Roberts， 还有所有的这个同事们都到来了中国。那么我们来聊一聊，就是游戏方面。那么我觉得大家都很关心的一个东西就是《星际公民》的4.0版本。那么这个4.0版本，我们将会有什么东西可以期待？
Well, I expect kind of jumping up and down on the side. I think he wanted to sort of hold some of the 4.0 discussions of what's in it till CitizenCon, because in CitizenCon it's all very much focused on full things that could be about 4.0. But definitely will have the first version of server meshing, and it will allow.
Look at the face that Sandy just made. Look at the face that Sandy just made. He just said the first iteration of server meshing, and then her face just goes from smiling to you idiot. What are you doing? Oh man.
Subscribers all the systems and have other things too, but I think Tyler, maybe Jared behind me, will shoot me if I say too much.
I'm just gonna scroll back. Too far.
那么我们来聊一聊就是游戏方面。那么我觉得大家都很关心的一个东西就是星际公民的 4.0 版本。那么这个 4.0 版本我们将会有什么东西可以期待？
Well, I expect Tyler jumping up and down on the side right now. I think he wanted to sort of hold some of the 4.0.
It's like behind the camera and he's pulled out a knife.
Because in Citizen Car, it's all very much focused on full things that will be about 4.0, but definitely will have the first version of server meshing, and it will allow us to expand all the systems and have other things too, but I think Tyler, maybe Jared behind me, will shoot me if I say too much.
这个4.0的内容将会在今年的公屏后为大家揭晓，它会有很多的内容。首先呢，这个第一个版本的这个无纸网的画面上肯定会上线在4.0版本，然后呢，其他的呢还有很多的内容。然后罗伯还在怀疑是不是他的同事，比如说 Taylor 社区经理，是不是在这次的活动中泄露太多的秘密信息了但是 Taylor 好像有点不太愿意承认。对，那么这个。我记得我第一次和罗伯互动，其实是在公主的网站上面，是因为当年是有一个活动，然后罗伯呢这个英语给大家就是在公主上面回复的这个网友回答一个问题。那虽然呢当时呢这个我的那个问题呢，它不是投票最多的，是其实投票第二个，是关于汉化的问题，但是呢罗伯依旧呢在当时给了我这个答案。所以呢，这一天呢，我也想借着机会问一问。
I think Hellmate's moved into a question now because he's still going.
那么这个继续上这个话题，那么关于4少军队和星际公民的汉化有没有什么消息？那我指的当然是官方汉化。
So yes, I can confirm to you that we are localizing Squadron 42 into Chinese, including being fully dubbed. It'll be both dubbed and subtitled in Chinese, and I think we may also do both. I think we're definitely doing simplified Chinese and traditional Chinese for subtitles, and so we're planning on Squadron and then on Star Citizen. I think in the sort of short term to near term, although early over time we'll probably have or a bit more information, we would have we're going to try to get the ability for the community lens translations to work again, so work around easy answer sheets, and then longer term we have the same goals, have everything translated, so and also on our website for you guys. But that's a bit longer term project because obviously Star Citizen is so big, and also with all the website stuff, it just makes it a bit more complicated. But our plan is to have full localization in Chinese on both Squadron 42 and Star Citizen.
那么现在其实在这个4少中队上面呢 ，CIG 已经开始对它进行中文的本地化，尤其是它是一个全面的本地化，包括所有的字幕和相关的这个做。
So I can just say yes. I'll tell you yes. I think we're actually in the process of enabling that right now with our payment provider, and we're looking at doing more. Having even wider payment methods for the rest of Asia, but absolutely Alipay and WeChat Pay are...
Okay. Like the localization thing, I know the community was already working on a solution to that for Star Citizen, which is actually really interesting. I think there was some Korean players that were leading the charge on that, but they actually worked out how to change all the text from English into their native tongues. No, also you're being highly optimistic. So he's talking about localization for Squadron 42, and then like the localization for that. So they're going to dub it, and they're also going to do subtitles in both traditional and simplified Chinese. Then there's the that's for Squadron 42, and then there's the stuff that they're going to do for Star Citizen, which over the near to midterm they are working on stuff, but it's not going to be one of those things where they're too focused on it. Part of the problem that he's that he brought up was like they've got not only Star Citizen to do all the translations for, but then you've also got the website and then whatever other products that they end up pushing out. And this part that they're talking about is expanding the payment methods, so that it sounds like that, so that people can use one of the native Chinese methods of electronic payments.
I think are being turned on in, I don't know, maybe the next few weeks. Now, if actually was there, we'll probably know, but...
It's not the next few weeks. It gets...
Okay, next month.
You get too tight on the timeline.
OK，
It's a private priority.
Alipay is definitely coming, but I don't know about the next few weeks, you might be overselling that.
下面这个消息很劲爆啊，就是我们知道我们现在在我们中国人最习惯的两种支付，就是更广的视野。那其实 DM 是 DM。
Can people put their hand up for if Alipay is the preferred method of payment for them, and see how many people are Alipay is the one that they like the most, and then the other one WeChat?
能这样
WeChat, yeah. Like, don't they pay for things like via QR codes? Like they scan something on a QR code and then they just pay for it through their phone. Like everything's network there, yeah. That's insane to me. But again, we just fucking bloody tap our cards on bloody the equivalent of a, what's it called, a overhyped calculator. And then money magically gets moved from one bank account to another. QR codes from WeChat, you even pay it for simple stuff. Yeah, I remember watching it was a documentary on China and how they, how they're advancing their economy. And it was quite interesting, like just seeing like everybody essentially attached to their phones for paying for everything. Going to a restaurant and then they just sit there and snap the QR code, and then it would just get paid for that way. Okay. Don't know why Stream Elements got held for saying that. It kind of makes sense though, like if the audience wants it, and they're more likely to get throughput for finances coming through, why not? Oh god. Oh man. Social credit score is bloody going down for me then. I'll never be able to visit China if they do that. Oh mate, no pirate player would be able to. I have to go there on a fake ID.
整体来讲要跟大家做一个互动。如果你更喜欢，到时候可以买船，用支付宝买船。那么，请大家等会儿第一次我们先举一个手。如果你更喜欢用微信买船，那么我们第二次再举一个手。那么第一次我们将会是问支付宝 ，OK？
SQN Bella the cities.
那么，如果你支持支付宝买船，请举手。OK。那如果你觉得更喜欢用微信来购买飞船的话，请举手。
Okay, there others? Those are the two main, it seems like.
当然，
Yeah, that's definitely enough.
Who wants PvP
刚
servers?
刚听了刚才跑过去补充了一下，其实大部分
We could do a meme about that. We could 100% make a meme out of that. Oh man.
的人2次都举了手啊，所以我们全都要。
Okay, we got the message, we got it. And what about Squadron? People prefer to play that on PC or console?
关于塑造中队，大家想要在 PC 电脑上面，还是想要更多的在这个主机上面去玩的呢？
Excellent. That's good to know.
That's good. So I'm looking for you. Even the name or whatever it was. So I'm working. Yeah, but it's weird. I don't know. Do you see what you do? Something instead of being there. Do you say you're pretty about?
Next one, Chris and I would love to come.
那这是Sandy 和罗伯对我们的中外社区有什么想说的没有？
Was that for you to say something?
I wish we were there. I want to make the next one. Chris and I would love to come down. I don't want to speak for him, but I would love to come down.
I'd love to come. I mean, it's all really mostly to do with the schedule, because I'm very, very busy on Squadron right now here in Manchester. So I'm not even in Los Santos, where Sandy and I live. We're over here in Manchester working really hard. But no, it's fantastic. I mean, one of the things you start Citizen, it's sort of meant to be for everybody, all around the world, all around the universe. Countries and nationalities aren't really important. It's just everybody that loves science fiction, exploring, adventuring, meeting other people, having fun together, living in this future universe where anything's possible. So I'm always like in awe and excited when I go to places or see all around the world, how many people love what we're doing, even though it's not fully completed or finished yet, but we're building this, I think, is going to be this amazing playground and universe to explore and have fun and create your own stories. And so I love to go around and meet everybody that's playing as sort of enraptured and interested as I am in this other universe. So I really thank all of you for supporting and playing.
Yeah, I'm a big Chinese fan. I always wanted to be able to speak Chinese, but I think I started that too late. I speak other languages, but my 5 tones for Mandarin are absolutely awful. And
But our youngest
but I do have our youngest daughter learning Mandarin. She has a tutor that comes every week, and she tries to get me to say things, even like Ni Hao Man. I'm terrible. I know I'm saying something that I shouldn't be, so that's why I just don't want to say anything at all. But
You think they would try to add Chinese actors for Chapter 2 cinematics to squeeze more from them? Yeah, 100%. 100%. Then again, like, it kind of, I don't think there is any. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure there is already Asian actors. I don't know if they're Chinese though. In the Squadron 42 lineup, I think there might be like 1. But I imagine they'll try and add more. Wouldn't be surprised if they did. I think it's really going to come down to the success of, Chapter 1. Chapter 1's successful enough, then 100%, they'll be like, yep, let's try and get some more people in. Let's get, increase that racial diversity. It's kind of interesting. Somebody brought up a point, because there was a Spectrum post that was made about this particular video where they were talking about Squadron 42. And one of the points that they brought up was like they're kind of interested to see how CIG is going to respond when they're doing the law for how China operates in the future. It's no secret in the Western world about China's desire to ensure that the perception of them is always positive. So yeah, it's one of those situations where it's like, China, like, there was supposed to be 3 main landing zones on Earth back in the original design, and one of them was like New York, London, and I think Shanghai was the other one. And the thing about that though is like, you know, how they portrayed, you know, China then. It'd be an interesting, you know, situation to see how they handle it. Houston is like China at the moment, if you ask me. Well, Houston doesn't have to deal with as many natural disasters at the moment. But yeah, it's interesting to see you know, how it goes with Star Citizen and the Chinese market, because if they really do want to break in, they're going to have to make some compromises. And a lot of people at the moment you get drunk when you get your helmet off in Hurston in PTU, so you can't clearly inhale. Just that many toxins in the air go straight to your head. There's this theory floating around at the moment about why CIG's, you know, done this, you know, for the Bar Citizen for Shanghai. So I don't think they did any, like, Chris Roberts didn't make an appearance for like the German one or anything like that. Did you notice that? No, I don't even think I've been on Hurston, and if I have in the PTU, I haven't taken my helmet off. Yeah, I don't think Chris Roberts has been to any of the other Bar Citizens or attend the Bar Citizens recently, and this one that's got 1,700 people, which is more than what they've gotten for CitizenCon. Having that many people show up, and then, you know, Chris Roberts is there, and he's like dropped, you know, talking about, you know, what was it, CitizenCon this year is talking about 4.0, Sandy mentioning, you know, console versus PC. So it's one of those situations where it's like, I don't know, the theory floating around is that they reckon that the Western market is starting to dry up, so CIG is now looking to push into the Eastern markets, see if they can actually get more money that way to keep funding the product. You know, like, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. At the end of the day, like, there's people over in China and, you know, all across Asia that want to play Star Citizen too, so, you know, having that engagement there makes sense, but to ignore the money that could potentially come out of this is a bit naive. But I personally don't think they're going down that route. I just think they're just pushing into a market that, you know, makes sense for them to engage in. My concern, actually, we'll keep watching this, but I want to touch on one of the concerns that I have with pushing into the Chinese market. It's not really the Chinese market, it's just the Asian markets, because there's a different mentality of, you know, gaming within those cultures than it is in Western.
OK 首先三点说非常讲在这里啊，但其实我也知道一个实力的玩家啊，对萝卜的了解能够就他的这个魅力所说呢，这个他的小女儿其实呢学习的会比较慢一点，但是他小女儿现在文化信息等等。
谢谢 but my pronunciation is awful. Even the helmet, you know, what I mean, I don't even know how to say anything. Yeah, she tried to think P Sun Su Yu Chi Ba Chiu. But it's no. I'm
now is awful. I say now is awful.
森林很谦虚，因为我说，即便说的不好的，还是要给我们展示一段这个中文。那森林展示一段，我觉得其实说的很好。关于这个变欧的，我们一起谈一下。
Must be taking a question from the crowd now.
I know, I can't hear them. That's about that far.
There was silence of some kind.
OK， 你看这个桌面，我们 Starfield， 那还有穿的 Starfield 的衣服，他们 OK。
I did hard to.
Okay. I know a lot of people always have competition about other game that's sort of in the same genre, but I feel that
He's going to answer a question about Starfield. Yeah, also that's what I was talking about. Like, if they do something similar to the social credit score for Star Citizen, I'll never be allowed in China. No one in Mongrel Squad will be allowed in China. I don't think they'll do that, to be honest, but it's, I guess, the difference in philosophy and how Eastern game players approach games versus Western is like a lot of Eastern MMOs are more or less free to play, and then they rely on the microtransaction market to make the most amount of money, which isn't a bad shout considering, what was it, 2 years ago? This was during the pandemic, I'm pretty sure. The free-to-play market was worth $45 billion. All these games are free and they just had microtransactions attached to them. And it's just insane. But that's the mobile market too. That's one of the other things is like, it's kind of interesting to hear that they're going to try and push into the Chinese market, but if you meant, like as you mentioned there, Ozil, bloody, the economic boom that they're experiencing where people can just buy, Gucci bags and stuff like that, obviously they're going to be able to afford high-end PCs, but only time will tell, really. I think what the question was something along the lines about Starfield, though. What their thoughts are on Starfield. So Chris is about to start answering it, so.
a lot of science fiction games, and so I'm worried like Starfield comes out, even though there's quite a few things that are fairly similar to what we've been doing in Star Citizen, look quite similar. I'll still be playing it. I love the Bethesda games. I liked, like Skyrim or Fallout 3, Fallout 4, so I think Todd Howard's a very talented game designer, so I'll be really interested to play it. And my opinion is that I think it's it's a game that potentially will get more people interested in playing space games. When I first launched Star Citizen, everyone told me that like no one's interested in space games, it's dead. But space sims aren't here. No one wants to play PC games. And I was like, I don't believe that because I love these things. I know a lot of other people love these things, and they used to love them when I made the Wing Commanders back in Privateer and Freelancer back in the 90s. And so for me, I think ultimately for Star Citizen, Starfield will be pretty good because there'll be some people that don't know about Star Citizen that will play something like Starfield because it's getting this huge push from Microsoft, and they'll play it. I'm like, oh, I like this game, but you know what? I want to play with other people. I want to be able to seamlessly land on a planet and fly anywhere because you won't be able to do that in Starfield. I want to meet my friends or.
Like how he makes a point of that. Like you won't be able to do that in Starfield. Oh man. Like that is a huge selling point though, and ironically that's kind of how it was going to work with Star Citizen until they got a shit ton of crowdfunding money. And it's interesting that Bethesda didn't even attempt to push for it, or maybe they did and they just went, you know what, it's not worth it. From a gameplay perspective, we want our players to have an average of a 2-hour gameplay session where they feel like they've achieved something, as opposed to in Star Citizen you'll do 2 hours and it's like you may actually get to land somewhere else. You may make it to your intended destination, you might be able to finish a mission during that time, You know, it's like 30 minutes just to get out of your hab, get to a ship, take off. You know, pick up your mission, travel there, do the mission. But yeah, it's I'm curious as to why, and I hope that they do this. I hope that Bethesda does like a post-mortem on Starfield, or you know, sections of it where they talk about the development and their design choices and things like that, because I just think that would be extremely interesting. Like, I want to know their thought process on why they didn't push for, you know, planetary landings. You know, if it was a technical limitation or if it was, you know, a design choice. I find that more interesting from a game design perspective.
Meet other players, you know, I want to meet thousands of other players and build a life in a persistent universe with real people as well as AI.
Don't say too much in one go because I have to translate and remember all that.
I think ultimately it will be positive for Star Citizen because
but it keeps going
Starfield's
anyway.
a single player game, so after people play Starfield and they look for something more, Star Citizen will be there.
说了很多啊，那我其实还是记得所有的内容，就是其实我包括 CIG 对信封的信息和这个宣传片，他们是非常高兴的，就是这些科幻玩家，他作为一个单人游不想跟人接触，那么
Owning it.
They want to get rid of all the time spending. Yeah, well, fast travel's always been a thing though. In Bethesda games, like, you know, Skyrim, Morrowind, Oblivion, Fallout, the Fallout series, all of them have always had fast traveling. So reducing the amount of time between, you know, like locations, giving people that option allows people to be able to choose whether or not they want to enjoy the journey more than the destination. Oh really? That's a controller focused, you know, or scheme though, when you think about it. Fast-paced story, which is super bad at Starfield. I think, well, to be honest, I think Bethesda has actually realized the strength of their games, which is more or less just not the storyline. It's not the storyline. It's being able to play the game and do whatever you want. All the side quests and, you know, randomly generated missions and choosing to do your own thing. There's a reason why Skyrim's still popular. But, you know, like, I need to play it. It's super, super bad. Like, if it's just Mass Effect's plot, I'll just be like, alright, I know how this ends. Skyrim story is a masterpiece. Well, I do think they spent a bit more time on Skyrim story. Skyrim also had the benefit of having, you know, fucking the lore of Oblivion and Morrowind and, what was it, Daggerfall behind it. In comparison to, you know, that series alone, that franchise. I think that's probably one of the problems that Starfield's going to suffer from, is like, it lacks depth in terms of the universe itself. So a lot of it you're learning and exploring. That was actually something that I liked about Mass Effect, was, you know, the codex and learning about things. Learning about things through the codex, you know, finding bits of information. Sometimes I'd spend hours just reading through the codex about stuff, and then realize, oh shit, I need to get back to playing the game.
Add to that, developer to submit up.
所以呢，这个在他眼里的星空呢，其实并不是一个他的竞争者，而是他的一个友商。对。
Otherwise, you're all the good at stuff.
We're going to work hard to keep it as good as, still lots of work to be done, but our goal is that we're always going to be making it bigger and better, honing it. It just takes time to build the universe with the detail that we're doing.
我说这个关于这个新机公平呢，他们呢仍然呢需要花更多时间，很多工作在这个各方面游戏性细节方面能够做得更好，能够让大家呢为了去让大家能拥有一个更好的这么一个游戏体验，所以他们呢还要在朝这个方向继续努力。那么我说，我也相信这个新机公平最后呢也会成为我们理想中的样子，因为呢。这个我们见证到了这个非常多有天赋的同事们，他们今天到了现场。
Yeah, be sure to tell Tyler and all the other developers your feedback so that it can come back to Chris and I.
You do not work out. It is hard work.
City 的 Taylor 和他们其他团队回去之后他们一定会跟。
I see there are jokes and Spanish because after the book.
So you may hear the audio like sounding really funky. Like, I'm pretty sure that's because one of the translators there is talking, but we can't really hear it. And the what's it called? The AI that tried doing the cleanup on this video has just tried picking up on the words, but did incorrect pitch corrections. So it sounds all, like all over the place.
Yes, so I'll say that I'm incredibly humbled to have so many people that love what we're building here at Planet Imperium. Obviously you got Aaron and people like John Crew and Todd that are there on the ground and a part of the team that's building Star Citizen. I never would have guessed when we started, back in 2012 when me and Sandy started to put the crowdfunding campaign and plan the launch and did the launch, that it would become what it has now. Because the original idea of Star Citizen was much smaller than it ended up being, mostly because there was such a huge response from everyone all around the world. And every time that I go to different places or see people from all around the world, I feel like it's something that connects everyone together. So it doesn't matter that we speak different languages or we're from different countries, because we all love the idea of exploring and venturing in space and interacting with other players and living in this different science fiction universe. And for me, that's sort of almost like a common language. And so I love the energy that you get from meeting and talking to everyone that plays and loves what I'm building, the rest of the team's building. And so I'm so thankful and constantly amazed and humbled. And I look forward to coming to visit you in the near future. Next year, I would think probably will happen. And so thank you all. Thank you for coming, and thank you for everyone that put on the event too, because I have to say, this is the best impressive Bar Citizen I've ever seen in my life.
Very impressive. Yeah, from my standpoint, starting in 2012, the heart of Star Citizen was and is the community. So seeing this many is amazing, and I'm sure it's going to grow, and we look forward to coming down there and being part of it. Right?
首先很感谢大家，因为这样我们回想。
It's funny because Sandy was like, 5 minutes ago telling Chris, hey, break it down because the translator's got to remember all that. And then Chris does his big long spiel again, and then she adds on to the back of it. And now old mate, the poor bastard's has to translate it to the entire crowd.
他在曾经1、2年的时候，我和他的妻子2个人从无到了他们这样的。他从来没有见过这么大规模的Bar Citizen，非常小，对，非常的这个界面，对。
I think that's pretty much it.
最后，我们大家一起再来跟他们来一个 wave 怎么样？
They're like, and fine.
Stop your leg, yeah. Wow, that's fantastic.
That's so cool.
I'm gonna, you gonna, there you go.
So, yeah, that was a thing. Fucking hell. That felt like it could have gone for like, well, that should have gone for like 10 minutes. Really, that should have been like 10 minutes. Now, after watching through the entire thing, what I may end up doing is going back through. I don't know, I don't have the questions though. That's the problem. I don't have the questions, and oh no, I'm not talking about the discussions and the interactions. I'm talking about like the video itself should have been 10 minutes. Part of the problem is like, oh mate, needing to do the translations, and I don't think they were really worried about pushing this out to the, you know, wider community. So, you know, like finding out what the questions actually were, and then just cutting out the parts. There's a Reddit post where there's questions. All right, might track that down, because I do want to. Yeah, you should be able to drop the link there, Ozzel. Because what I do want to do, because I've already got an edited version of the video sitting there. I just need to, like, I could clean it up. Not the audio. The audio is pretty much as best as it's going to get, based on my skill sets. But I'd like to clean it up so that it's like, you know, the question, their response, question, their response, question, their response, and not question, their response, 2 minutes of translation, next question, response, 2 minutes of translation. Because, yeah, a lot of that time was spent, I'd say about half of the time there was spent by the translator repeating everything. That said though, old mate did a really good fucking job. Yeah, not gonna lie. He actually, no, I can't really say that he did a really good job because I don't speak Mandarin, but he looked impressive. Like, it seemed like he was, you know, he was switched on and was able to repeat everything that Chris and Sandy said, you know, off the top of their head, after listening to Chris waffle on for like, you know, 3 or 4 minutes. Yeah, like, part of the reason why I wanted to react to it, one, I wanted to find out what the hell was going on with it, but two, then there was also the, you know, the speculation that was getting thrown around because of it. You know, CIG essentially going, oh, not CIG, backers essentially going, oh, you know, like Squadron 42, you know, they're going to do a tour next year, Squadron 42 for next year, because, you know, Chris is going to go out on a tour and he's busy with Squadron 42, so that means that he's going on a tour, and it's like, no, it doesn't. Maybe he's just, you know, scheduled out a piss trip. You know, want to do a worldwide piss trip? I'll send everybody else out, all the peons out to, you know, test the waters, see how it goes, and then if it's good, then, you know, next year it'll be my turn. I'll go out on the piss trip. Just bar hop from bloody country to country, getting pissed. It was interesting that he, you know, mentioned server meshing 4.0 and, you know, like the first look at server meshing, which we don't even know what that means. It doesn't mean that we get server meshing. It just means that they'll show something of it, maybe, or they'll talk about the tech for it, which they've already done. Maybe that's why we don't have part 2 of server meshing from inside Star Citizen, because they're like, oh shit, we should save this for CitizenCon, which is pretty bad actually, because to me, I interpret that as, you know, CitizenCon is going to be pretty weak without that sort of stuff. But for all we know, like, CIG could have something bloody hiding up their asses that they're going to pull out at CitizenCon and just blow everyone away. Or they'll just be like, yeah, this is just to reconnect with everybody and, you know, like, just have a good time and chat and all that sort of stuff and catch up and, you know, just reconnect with the community. and not even worry at all about fucking, you know, trying to showcase new shit. Where are we? All right. Well, what we should do, Ozzel, whilst you're if they do that, they're really going to piss off the community this time. That's why they're more worried about, you know, China right now. Like, they literally just had a bar citizen that was, you know, 1,700 people, which I'm pretty sure is more than they get at their citizen cons by a huge margin. So yeah, you know, like, maybe they're into it. Spend a lot of time looking at Reddit posts, yeah. Maybe somebody recommended it in reactions and rants. Non-rex, no. That's in Starfield, no. I'll have a quick look myself, but if I don't see it, we'll just move on. A lot of discussions on what's it called, the Sorry, hello. Apparently this is the first time that you've been chatting as well, which I thought that you'd already spoken in chat. There it is. Yep. This is actually, I remember seeing this post. This is actually one of the ones. Oh, I'm going to switch to this scene here. Yeah, there we go. Let's zoom in a bit. This one was actually one that prompted me to go seek out that video. So leaks Pyro release date, Chris Roberts Q&A, XCIG opinion. Yeah, this fucking Pyro release date. Compilation of leaks and opinions that have been shared recently on Sus's and Leaks Discord for people who don't follow too closely. Like always, it needs to be taken with a grain of salt, but it's nice to have a reminder of what they are working, ATM, and different points of view about Pyro. Alpha 4.0, it's still on track for end of year, maybe not fully live, but PTU like other end of year patches with Pyro and meshing. Meshing has been in active testing for months, mostly focused on client crash handling, server crash fixes, and friend list issues. Pyro is almost done. We'll probably get a feature complete announcement at CitizenCon. I wonder where they got all that information from, other than, like, I know their intent was to do that. Like, the whole meshing has been in active testing for months. We heard that last year. Like, that's old news. I remember hearing that last year. Alright, here we go. The Q&A from the bar citizens in Shanghai. How do you view the Chinese player community? Is there an opportunity to hold a citizen con in China? What can we expect from version 4.0? How do you feel about Starfield? So they asked them 4 questions. That's funny because I actually referenced this in last week's stream. The last one, which is the opinion and response about XCIG from Aria of SC Leaks. Yeah. Alright, well, wish I'd remembered about these questions being there because I would have definitely put them in the video. I could have cut that video down so much. I might do that later. It's a tomorrow Agens job. Alright, what I'm going to switch back to Facecam. I think those questions were the only ones, the ones that they pulled out of the leaks Discord. I know it feels like there was only 4 questions asked. You're gonna have to watch the video again and listen to the parts where old mate's not doing the translation. Because it's not, like, when you take out the translation part, it's not going to be a very long video. Alrighty, thanks for that, Ozzel. Appreciate it. See if I can track down more. I'll look at it tomorrow and see what's going on with it, and then I'll probably, I've got a backlog of videos for the old reactions that I need to push out. I still haven't even started on last week's one, and the week before I still got to go through and just cut out some of the audio that's in it. I've already done the majority of the jump cuts. It's just cutting down the parts where I repeat myself a lot and say the same thing. I like to go back through those videos now and cut them down, see if I can get them down from, 2 hours to something that's a bit more of a manageable 60 minutes or less. But yeah, so that's it. Chris Roberts pretty much leaked server meshing and Squadron 42 details and all that sort of stuff. So the next bit, we're going to make the cut parts compilation. I still got to do that, but it's not like, because I use an AI tool to help with cutting out the silences. All I need to do is just select all the audio or all the clips and just invert their enabled state and then delete all the disabled clips, and it'll just leave me with just the pauses all the way through. So it's not that I can't do it, it's just I haven't spent the time doing it. The AI is stupid if you can't do it in reverse. Well, it's more the parameters that they use. Like, I don't think it's a proper AI. I think what they've done is they've just put in parameters that allows you to be able to, like, I think they base it on the audio clips and the audio waves, and if there's like, if it's below a certain decibel value, then it'll apply, like cuts there. Agens glares at the compilation. It'll be more or less like Agens just looking around. Me, or like, looking around, maybe at the camera. Just all over the place. Doing a really jumpy version of bloody Stevie Wonder. Could be like going to get a drink or doing or something too, jumping around. Yeah. Concussion actions, yes. Oh god. Just thinking of the title of the video now. Bloody reaction streamer. Reaction streamer with concussion. Spends the next 5 minutes looking around the screen. It's just all the jump cuts of the silences. Oh, man. Actually, I should turn on, like, I'm streaming from my gaming PC right now for the reactions. So nobody's complained about the microphone audio, so either you all just don't care, or like you're not hearing the audio cutting in and out, which is good. If it's not doing that, I'm happy. But I also have, because it's on my gaming PC, I've got my 3080 here with NVIDIA Broadcast, so I can use the, what was it, their camera, the camera tech, where they make it look like your eyes are always staring at the camera. Could end up as a meme too. Care Bears while getting pirated if you put Alt F4 at the end. It'd need to be like the facial expressions and shit like that. Software is cool but creepy, yeah. It is. Like, it's like if you play around with it enough, like you can like slightly cover your eye and like it's essentially cut out you know, an image of your eye and overlays. But like, you know, if you're wearing a hat, like you could do something like just tipping your hat brim down enough. I know for a fact, like if I put the hat like that, the eye will be showing up still. It looks fucking creepy as fuck. Alright. So, the next bit of content that I want to react and rant about, it's more a reaction, is right here. It's a Spectrum post. And this is from good old Jag Hiroshi. It's featured on the channel before. And yeah, he's like literally, like, I know other people have brought it up in the past, but this is like the only post that I've seen about on Spectrum that isn't related to the current Best in Show bloody competition that's going on right now. This is one of the few posts, and kind of leans into the whole scummy marketing tactics that CIG is employing, or has been employing in the past. And I'm going to read through this because it kind of makes, it'll make sense when I start reading about it. So it's titled, "Sorry CIG, but I think this is bad business practice, altering cosmetics after sale. Speaking for myself here. Back at CitizenCon 2 years ago, when the 400i was launched, it sailed into Pyro sporting the Meridian Silver paint, giving this Origin vessel Nubian Royal Starship vibes. People went nuts for that ship paint combo, and CIG must have taken money hand over fist. Naturally, it doesn't need to be said that CIG reserve the right to change things as the game progresses, with the expectation being on features and mechanics or components, weaponry on ships, allowing CIG to make a fair and balanced game. Cosmetics are different though. Paint, in particular, is purchased by backers specifically because they enjoy the look. It has no material effect on the game, or on gameplay balance, or people would be complaining about it. For that very reason, there should be no need to change paint for risk of upsetting backers who have given you money for a specific cosmetic look. The new paint you reimagine today may not be what the backer would have wanted at pledge time. Yet it happens repeatedly, and it's happened again with the 400i Meridian paint. It's changed in 320. I've had it suggested here and on Reddit that these are either imagined changes or that they're perhaps a figment of Gen 12 rendering updates, but no, because in this case the description has also been updated. Meridian was never silver, they just fixed the text, dude. That's from 319. That's from 320. Although it would have been better if he'd bloody taken pictures from the same angle. But the lighting is nearly the same. But yeah, like, I don't know, like that looks pretty different to this one, like lighting or not. Yeah, new paint, 400i Meridian livery, paint 400i Sitcon Meridian, paint difference description. The Meridian livery gives the 400i a simple yet stylish metallic silver finish, and then it changes to the Meridian livery gives the 400i a simple yet stylish metallic black finish. Could be a rendering issue too, but like because of the text, and here's the thing is like from memory, like the 400i did look Nubian, like with its what was it, pretty much stainless steel look. It's what a lot of people liked about it. Honestly, I think what's happened is that somebody is probably supposed to have copied, or like somebody's supposed to have made a metallic black paint for the 400i, right? Somebody's supposed to have made this, and they've gone, alright, I'll copy this, I'll paste it in, and then I'll rename the stats. And what they've done is they've bloody pasted over the top of the original. That's what I'd like to think it is. But Jack continues. Someone at CIG has decided that the silver paint that wowed people in that CitizenCon 2 years ago is now going to be black. No consultation, no advisory, nothing. And it's not just this paint. The Razor EX was changed from sleek black and silver to gunmetal grey and teal, and then immediately put up for paint sales after it was changed. We were given Harmony paint for Alien Week last year with an amazing shader that was taken away 3 weeks after delivery, and it took a year to update the sales images to remove the original paint. Ultramarine was changed on the 300i, this was a custom color, right? Etc. It's awkward enough that the hex code paint system was withheld from backers in preference for sizable microtransactions, but fair enough, I get that you need funding. The least you could do is respect the backers that have given you money, and I don't think that these ad hoc reimaginings of existing cosmetic items does that. You can't possibly have any idea whether the backer that gave you money for paint yesterday would have given you that same money for the revised paint. It's a liberty and in danger of coming across as deceptive. Whoever in the business is making these decisions is going to ruin trust in this vital funding avenue. Like, going to is a bit late. I think they're already doing that. You know? Yeah, Banther, I think unfortunately though, like it's possible that those paints will change, you know, purely because of the rendering system, the lighting system. 400i pirate skin because it's such a popular ship. Pirate week in 1 to 2 weeks, so it tracks, yeah. Like, it's a genuine concern to have. Because here's the thing, is that you'll buy these paints with real money, and then they'll change the paint, so you're like, oh, I don't want that. So then you melt it. You can't get your money back. It's now sitting there as store credit. Now, it's not your fault that CIG changed the product, though you did buy the product, or sorry, pledged under the knowledge that it could change. But I think with this particular type of items, like it, as Jag points out at the start, he's like, you know, like it makes sense to, you know, for things to change for mechanics, gameplay features, components, weaponry, but the paints, you know, the paint is also gifted because of the pre-order. So I guess they're not really missing out that much, but then again, like some people may not have bought the 400i. Like, that looks cool. I wouldn't buy it. I'm not a fan of the 400i, but it looks cool. That also looks cool to me. Like, but, you know, if I bought the ship with this skin, if I bought a ship with this skin, and I bought the ship because it came with this skin, and I like the ship and the skin, and then they go, ah, well, you know, you get to keep the ship, but with changing the skin, I'd be angry. I would be angry. But, you know, my personal opinion on this is like, in comparison to everything else that we're missing in the game, it's, you know, almost a nothing burger, except it's to do with items that they sell to players and people make money off of it. I thought I uploaded this. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, it more than likely is a mistake. Like, you know, as I said before, a dev's supposed to be making this paint, or sorry, skin. Supposed to be making this skin for the 400i and adding it to the store, or getting it ready to add to the store, and what they've done is they've gone ahead and copied this one and gone, yeah, copy, update the colors and rename, or, you know, change the description, saved, and they've got saved over the top of this one. Remember the Caterpillar pirate paint? It's also pitch black right now. The black paint is just fucking ugly, and they didn't even care since it looks better. Yeah, it's... oh man. It's one of those situations where, like, I'll buy a paint because I like the look of it at the time. Thank you very much for the follow there, Motar. Like, I like the color of the paint at the time. And if it doesn't end up looking better later, then, you know, I'll just melt it. But I'm comfortable with doing that. But some people aren't. Some people don't want to be spending their money on something, you know, spend their money on something that they really wanted, and then later on down the track, go, you know, CIG changes it, and they're like, oh shit, well, I don't want that. That's not the product that I wanted. So I'd like to get my money back, and CIG just turn around and go, nah, you pledged for this, so, you know, money's already been spent. It's like, well, give me back the product that I paid for then. You know, I think it's safe to say, like, what does CIG lose by reverting that paint, or, you know, like ensuring that they can continue with that paint. You know, ensuring that that paint is still in the library of skins for that ship. They don't lose anything by doing that. If they change the selling paint of the 600 item matte black, people would riot. Yeah, 100%. That said, if there was a matte black paint for the 600, I would actually consider buying it, especially with the upgrades that they're doing to it soon. Like, to be honest, like, the 600i may actually turn out to be a good small, you know, small crew piracy ship. I just think the first version was designed poorly. The executive edition? Well, the executive edition is like black and gold though. It's black with a gold trim. So, you know, if they just do a plain black matte version with no trim, I think you could differentiate enough. Yeah, like, I'm gonna link the post again for everybody. If you agree with old Jag here, 165 votes. Feel free to upvote. Feel free to make a commentary. Vacation. I have a feeling they will offer up an apology in the form of an even better silver mirrored paint in the cash shop. War bond only. We need to see if the ship showdown paints are black, and then we can assume that this is just a base paint they did for all ships. Possibly. Like, oh, what was it? I think it was the first ship showdown before they had this paint system. Where they, what was it, the first one where it was like black, purple and white? I think there was gold on it too, but they gave us those paints there. It was like, it was ridiculous really. I've still got that item sitting in my bloody hangar because it's a ship upgrade, but it's a forced application of a paint. The MPUV paint is similar to this 400i but blue, yeah. But yeah, we're gonna switch over to the pink reclaimer. Yeah, the pink reclaimer one. Like the Cutlass, was it the Cutlass didn't end up looking pink, it was more like white and purple. Oh, because he applied the paint and then found out that, yeah. Yeah, I'd refuse to use it, to be honest. I'd be contacting customer support about that and be like, I want this fucking reclaimer reverted. I don't care if I lose the, you know, the paint, the item there. Just revert the reclaimer. Because I don't think you can go backwards. It's fucking possible. Trust me, it's possible. They'll be able to work it out. They just need to complain enough until they get the right guy. Part of the reason why they keep saying that it's not possible is because the person that, or the, you know, the person required to do it is probably busy with a lot of other things. But yeah, I'd just be telling them, like, you guys pretty much gave me a paint that I can't fucking remove. now that you've got a paint system here, you know, fix it. Do you intend on fixing it? No? Buddy, then I want my ship back. Yeah, it's shit. Honestly, it's shit. I know. I've also heard that depending on what part of the world you live in, you may or may not be able to get a better result when contacting customer support like that. Like, I'm pretty sure within Europe there's laws about things like that. If you want a reversion on your product, they're supposed to give it to you if you paid money. But I'm not 100% sure on that. I could be you know, adding different things together to come up with an answer. So yeah, there's the paints thing, you know, it's a problem. The law is to give your money back. I'll be asking for a refund then. Be like, yep, give me my money back and then I'll get the ship. Unless, of course, they lose value. Because once they bump up that price, if you get a refund, you lose in value from the product that you bought. An interesting thought process. But we're going to move on. This one's a really quick one. You buy from 150. You need to pay full price at that point. Yeah, it's shit. It's a shit thing. Like, yeah, I backed early. I supported you guys. You then put this shit thing in. I want you to fix it. You're not willing to fix it. So give me back my money. But you've increased the value of this object. So if I want to get that object again, I gotta pay more. So you guys are shafting me. It's bullshit. And speaking of more bullshit, this guy's fed up. This guy here, I'll just link their Spectrum post. They're fed up. It is. I'm getting tired of this. It's a really short one, but I think it's worth discussing. According to This Week in Star Citizen, we are getting the Fury LX. So here it is. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of the last 3 years getting small STF ships. Notar, is this channel taking place in the YouTube streams? Yes. Although my intent is to post these videos from Twitch over to YouTube. I just gotta find the time. And I like to cut them down properly. Which takes more time. But yes, these will be going across my YouTube channel. But yeah, I'm tired of variants. I'm tired of not seeing any of the backlog in the roadmap being worked on. Why has ship development been reduced to kit bashing variants together like the Cutlass Steel or pushing out quick and easy STV type ships? I'm just damn tired of it. Old mate's having a Suki Lala, but he's got a point. He's got a point. Fury LX, which is obviously going to be a racing variant of the Fury. Which is interesting because Mirai also have the Razor. I want to know what the top voted comment here is. 71, breaking stuff. At this point, I'm just waiting for someone to point at Chris and flat tell him that perfection is the enemy of good enough and get Squadron 42 out the door. Either way, I'm not buying more ships. We need something done and released. Facts. The game is incredibly boring and I don't understand how they have over 1,000 employees and can't get anything done within a reasonable time frame. Embarrassing. I bet Pyro will ship with barely any gameplay as well. Ooh. I want to know what this person does. Judging from their profile picture, they think they're a bit of a badass. The Alex was a luxury variant? That's what I'd think as well, but what would they do with the luxury Fury? Maybe they put a quantum drive on it and took the weapons off. Small and medium ships are made by the new guys on the team. Yeah, that is actually something that I don't think a lot of people realize, is that when COG bring new people on, especially when they're working in the vehicle teams, they'll get them working on a smaller vehicle whilst also contributing to a larger one. So yeah, it's that said though, like, you know, old mate's got a point. You know, where's all the bigger ships? Where are all these bigger ships? Where's our bigger ships? Where's our multi-crew ships? I think, you know, the news of the Banu Merchantman getting shelved again for a second time probably didn't help either. But, you know, we might see a larger ship being ready for at CitizenCon as well. Big ships only have 4 people on them. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think it's like, you know, like one of those things where it's like, you know, it's one thing to have a team working on it, but it's also just what have we got in the game? You know, like, what have we got in the game where COG's sitting there going, oh, we don't want to add ships, you know, without, you know, their gameplay features, and it's like, okay, well, where are the other ships though that you're talking about? You know, what's going on with the backlog? Was it we're getting the Spirit? Was it the C1 and A1 in a Point X patch for the 320? Small ships are blocking big ships. Maybe it's the bigger ships blocking the small ones, that they just prioritize the small ones. Get something out the door, into the hands of the customers, keep them interested. Part of the problem though that we've got, and it's, you know, it's a perception issue within the community as well along these here, is that people, like this particular comment here, the game is incredibly boring. It's only as exciting as, you know, like you make it. When I hear somebody say that the game is incredibly boring, I imagine that they're more focused on PvE gameplay as opposed to PvP content. Because you can find fun in this game. It's not hard to do. But that means that you've got to interact with other people. You got to interact with other, you know, players. You can't sit there and wait for COG to spoon feed you gameplay right now. If you do that, if you wait for COG to try and spoon feed you, you're just going to get, you know, disappointed. You're going to end up with this, you know, mentality. 1 sec, I gotta go AFK. I'll be right back. Just had to quickly put some stuff away. It's about to start storming where I'm at. Just catching up in the chat. Like, my point about the PvE players is people who think like this, they are just PvE players. That's all they want to do. That's all they're interested in. And the problem with PvE gameplay is that for it to maintain player engagement, it needs to either be extremely, repetitive, or it requires constant input from the developers to add more content. Hello. I was playing Power Rangers and flying only Auroras. Did they like try and arrange the Auroras to make like a Megazord? Nobody expects an Aurora. Yeah, I thought I'd share that. I'm gonna upvote. I'll share the link again. Like, would like to see more of the bigger ships from CIG. There's a link to the Spectrum post there if you're interested in upvoting. Yeah, I thought it's a quick little interesting post, and I agree. Like, we want some meat and potatoes being added again. Where's the bigger ships? Where's the bigger ship? You watch CitizenCon, there's going to be like 3 all straight to flyable. Nobody will, only the whales will be able to afford them. Dressed up as Crusader security to hold a courier station. Ended up 5 FPS in PvP with 5-man org. That's one of the missed opportunities, and it's one of the reasons why I want server meshing to be a thing. There's a missed opportunity that we've got is that because everybody can be in their own little fishbowl, places like Ghost Hollow are like a fucking ghost town. Because you just end up with like, the one guy who decides to hole up in there, they run the machines themselves. You show up, you might clap them, and then you don't see anybody there for the next fucking, hour or so. That said though, if there's the right motivation, people will show up. Like SMO 18 is a really good place. Like SMO 18 for 319, when 319 released and we had SMO 18 with its gold, it just created another jump town. Server meshing is a rabbit hole that you do not want to go down there, Mikey. There's actually a video that will explain it better. Star Citizen. Just catching up on the chat. It's going to be another year of broken promises in regards to tech. It'll be very disappointing. Well, you may have missed it at the start of the stream, Motar, but we were reacting to the Shanghai Bar Citizen footage that's been getting passed around. And Chris Roberts mentions that they'll be showing something about server meshing at CitizenCon. What that means, we have no idea. Yeah, like COG, if they're still on track with what they said that they were going to be doing for server meshing, that we should start seeing, you know, the earliest iterations in backers' hands at the start of next year. Yeah, like, even with the COG's intent on adding the ability to hire AI and NPCs and all that good stuff, players are still going to have to deal with the fact that you can't compete against other players with the AI. Like, the AI will be able to assist you, but it's not going to be able to, you know, it's not going to be on the same level as other players. Even when you level up your AI. You know, like, you've got to keep them fed, watered, happy, all that sort of stuff. That's what COG's told us, to the effect of. They can turn on you if you don't. So, you know, like all these players who have bought these, you know, large capital ships, who are sitting there going, I'm going to, you know, solo these ships and I'm just going to have a fully AI crew. It's like, all right, well, good luck with that, mate, because you're going to need to make sure that you're making enough credits to be able to pay them. Hold your breath. CitizenCon presentations have historically not been representative of reality. Yeah, I'm still waiting for that. What was it? That infiltration mission at Microtech? What was it? The Valkyrie taxi? Loxy stole an AI hammerhead and went to Jumptown. Well, that's the thing, is like, yeah, you can steal those, the AI enabled ships. You know, the AI ships with AI crew, and have AI turret gunners, and they'll just shoot at anything. If you grab the criminal ones, they'll shoot at everything. That doesn't, you know, like, they're still not that threatening. You can still take them down quite easily. But that's what I think we'll see. Yeah, I agree. Like, we'll see a lot of players moving in that direction, wanting to, you know, like, I just want to play by myself, but I'm going to have my entire crew with me. I'll tell them what to do. You know, used to do that in Atlas. We actually found that it was better to have, like, if you had the choice between, you know, 2 players on the same ship with some AI crew, or 2 ships, you know, controlled by 2 players, by a player each, with the full AI crew, you'd always go for the 2 players in control of the 2 different ships with full AI crew, because you could do more. But, you know, from what we know about, you know, operating capital class ships, the AI may not be up to task. Because you're going to expect them, you know, like, if you take damage, you know, AI are going to have to go fix it. You're going to need people manning the turrets. If you get boarded, you're going to have to repel the boarders. And if you're repelling boarders, more than likely you're fighting players. That said, like, CIG could be working towards... CIG could be working towards the AI doing boarding actions like players do. Just not yet. You can fix ships while flying. Oh, can you fix ships while flying? Not really. You can replace parts on some ships, depending if those parts are broken, but The time to kill on most ships is actually so short that you can't really rely on fixing them while you're on the move. Like if you're in the middle of a fight, right now you don't have the time to run around fixing shit. You're more or less fighting or trying to run away. And then you try and fix your ship up after you know, if you escape or win the battle, that's when you try and spend your time fixing your ship. And if you don't win the battle, then you just spawn in a new ship. Alrighty, so we got one more bit of content. Oh my god, shut up. Wait your fucking turn. So, this is the last bit of content that we're going to be reacting to for the night. I gotta call it. Holy shit, no it's not. It goes for half an hour. I didn't realize that until I just looked at how long it was going to take. Let's see if I can find a shorter one from the guy, because if I can't, I'm not reacting to it. Fucking hell. That's way off. Where are we? $47? Fucking hell. Pretty sure they got one more. Here we go. 17. Alright, this one's a bit more reasonable. So, I'm gonna link the video. Reacted to this guy's videos before in the past. The YouTube video. It's by Noobs Gaming. Now I'll just switch over to full screen mode. Actually, I'll keep it in theater mode. What I'm going to do, switch over reaction scene. All right, switch over to here just so I can show you guys. My mate's put out in the last week or a couple of weeks now. In the last 8 days, he's put out 3 videos about pirates. Or fighting against pirates. This was the original one that I was going to react to until I saw it was like 30 minutes and I'm like, fuck that. The next one, trying to fight back against pirates, 47 minutes, too long for a reaction stream anyway. This one's pushing it, especially for me because I like to waffle on. But yeah, we're going to react to this one. Hope he learns. Well, here's the thing, is that one of the guys commented about this video who suggested it, and I'm interested to see what's going on here. You got EMP'd while in armistice? Yeah. So, I've linked the video. We're going to watch what old mate has to say. Yeah. We'll see how this goes. I've got to turn the music off. Full screen. Alright, let's see what Noobs Gamer has to say about Pirates Beware, cargo runners will conquer Star Citizen. Hashtag Star Citizen, hashtag Master Mode.
Yo, 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 my Star Citizens and Noob Gamers. Welcome back to another episode of Star Citizen with me, Menix. And today I'm on with that other guy, called Dennis. And today we're going to be doing a simulation of Master Modes. So we're on the PTU, and Master Modes is only available in Arena Commander. And so we're going to do a simulation and test this today in the eyes of a pirate and a cargo runner. So if you like this video, guys, if you do like this video, don't forget to hit that pointer, tickle that like button for us, and hit that bell and subscribe notification for more videos as we drop them. And yeah, so let's get into this one, guys. So what we're doing is, Kilthanis is in a C2, and I'm in this pirate ship here, the Buccaneer. And what we're going to do is we're going to simulate master
what?
modes. And for those...
Oh, that's right, because it's a drag ship, so it must be a pirate ship, right? Fucking, oh my god. Just because COG says it's, you know, what pirates use doesn't mean that's what pirates fucking use. The Buccaneer is not fit for purpose for even its basic job, which is as a light fighter. So to sit there, and like, here's the craziest part, is that we've already got a fucking ship. You know, they're doing a QED test. This is the pirate who uses a Buccaneer. Like, we've already got a ship that you could use to test. If you wanted to attempt a simulation with master modes, use a fucking Mantis, because that's what we would all be using. And it already exists. As opposed to this fucking thing. Like, this doesn't even make sense already. It's the blind leading the blind. Let's see how we go.
Those people that don't know what master modes are. So there's changes coming, maybe not in 320, but there is changes in the 320 PTU in the Arena Commander. And master modes, you have two modes. You have a mode which is called SCM mode, where you have your guns available, your countermeasures available, and your shields available, but your
SCM mode. It's just SCM. It's like ATM machine.
locked in speed is at 200 with the Gladius, which we've tried up to yet, is locked in at 224. You can boost. If you boost, you can go up to 560, but that takes away your boost, and as soon as you've got no boost left, it drops back down to 224. In the nav mode, you have no shield, you have no guns, you have no countermeasures, but you have as much top speed as your ship will give. So what we're looking at today is, can a pirate hanging around take a bigger ship down? We did a video on this with the EMPs and the distortion weapons, and in the comments a lot of people said, well, I'll just fire my missiles at you if you're trying to outrun me, or will quantum interdict you. And I was trying to explain, well, if you're lining up your missiles, by the time you've lined up your missiles, people are probably gone already. You might only have to dodge a couple of missiles and you're not going to be able to use your guns after that. If you quantum interdict, it doesn't matter, because in this test you'll see none of us actually, well, the Kilthanis in the C2 doesn't actually quantum out, he just outruns me. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do two tests, basically trying it for 2 times, and then on the third attempt I try and lock my missiles. For some reason,
so it already talks about, you know, what happens at the end, and we're only 2.5 minutes in. I don't think Old Mate fully understands yet how QED is supposed to interact with nav mode. So 2 modes, SCM, nav mode. Okay, to go into quantum travel, you engage nav mode. Press B, ship goes into nav mode, starts, you know, you're able to accelerate, or not accelerate, you're able to reach a higher speed. Your ship's quantum drive will also start spooling. Concurrently, your ship's shields will turn off, and so will your weapons. Right? Problem here, and this is something that we've only gleaned little bits of information from CIG about this. They haven't come out and, you know, in a big announcement about master modes or anything like that yet, which is part of the reason why, you know, the majority of pirates aren't really that worried about this. Like, they're interested to see what CIG is going to do when it comes to quantum enforcement on other ships. But from what we've been told so far, when a ship is in the presence of quantum enforcement, they can't engage nav mode. I know him when he first opened his channel. He doesn't research things and speculates on them. I did enjoy it first since he was a noob, but these are like tutorials that mislead people. Sad. That's part of the reason why I'm actually reacting to this, because I already had a pretty good idea that Old Mate's going to be giving out wrong information and not doing his due diligence to this. Like, he's going to do a simulation here, using a non-QED enabled ship, right? And he's already missing a key piece of information when it comes to nav mode. Because this was actually a question that was brought up that Yogi ended up answering, where CIG, like, they had stated that they're not fully locked down with what they expect QED to do, or, you know, quantum enforcement devices to do. But at the time, the plan was that it prevents the ship from being able to get into navigation mode, which caused a lot of problems for, you know, like, caused a lot more questions, because pirates are just in there going, well, what if they're already in nav mode? And then, you know, it was theorized that, well, if they're in nav mode and they come in, you know, into contact with a quantum enforcement device, it pulls them out of nav mode and forces them into SCM. But we haven't got CIG sitting there saying, okay, this is exactly what is happening with master modes, because they haven't gotten that far yet from what we understand. So from my understanding, the dampener will prevent a ship from going into nav mode. They do not have no nav mode yet. Well, that was during the no, you've got nav mode in Arena Commander, it just doesn't do anything for you. Did you hear that people can bedlog in combat in 320? Only when PvP, not PvE, oddly enough. No, I did not hear that, no lat. But if that's the case, we're going to have to fucking look into that, and if so, I'm going to be waging a campaign to get that fixed. Because Care Bears ain't getting away. They'll Alt F4, but yeah, I don't care if they Alt F4, but they're not escaping with their ship intact. Yeah, no, lat, throw it in there, man. Feel free to flag it to the entire server too. I'll let the other Mongrel Squad officers know, and we'll pass it around the org. That's shit if it's the case, though. Yeah, with what's going on with old mate, you know, quantum enforcement. The dampener is supposed to prevent ships from going into nav mode, and we do have nav mode in Arena Commander. I was actually flying around in it, what was it, last week when I was, you know, messing around with master modes. I'm here to learn the art of, I'm assuming you meant grief there, piss poor Pete. Hello, by the way, welcome. Also to watch a React channel that actually plays the game. Well, I'm not playing the game today, but yeah, it's yeah, for griefing. I'm not perfect at griefing, but if you ask anybody else, you know, mainly the victims that I've pirated, then yeah, I'm fucking a master griefer. Yeah, as I was saying, the master modes last week when I was playing around in Arena Commander, you could engage nav mode and your ship's shields would go down, you couldn't fire your weapons, fly around and do all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's definitely one of those situations where you can, you know, experience nav mode, but there's nothing really more to it other than you fly faster with no shields and weapons. Well, yeah, Nelson, you're the shit talking. Yeah, this is the third video. The other two videos that I made that was along the lines of piracy were like half an hour to 45 minutes each. So this is the smallest one. Anyway, let's keep watching. I want to see this test that old mate does.
Reasons my missiles wouldn't work, I had to turn them off and back on before they would work. So that's why you see at the end I only fired the last 2 missiles I've got. Even if the person was to lock up 4 missiles, I don't think it matters because the person would be gone by the time they lock the 4 missiles. So this is what the test is going to be about. I'm in the Buccaneer, I've set my speed and I've set my power assignment to be as a T, so in between the guns and the shields, and Kill Thanos has turned his weapons off and he's turned his shields off.
It's a video. Unless it ends up dragging out the story for longer, show, don't talk. It's a video. You can easily switch to first person view and look at the fucking power triangle and go, I've set my power triangle to a T while looking at it, as opposed to this, which hasn't really changed much. He will show it later. It's actually not a ship behind me, man. It's my org logo. I've got a green screen behind me, so yeah, it's just a mask that I use. It will show him later. This is just talking over the plan. Will I switch the camera? Are you talking about my face cam view? Like here? So I'll just turn off the camera and I'll show you what it is. So this is Rudo's little spot. It's our little hollow projector there. Rudo's a mission giver in Grim Hex, and there was a time where he was broken and this is all you would see. So I took a video of it, looped it, and then overlaid my camera over it. And you probably can't see it that much, but there is a bit of opacity that's been added to my camera. I use a green screen behind me. Opacity added to the camera, it's like, you know, just like dropped it down to 90%. And then that's really about it. And part of the reason why I use a little bit of transparency on the actual camera is because it's actually a shitty camera and this has been blown up. So it's to hide the edges from the fucking video. And yeah, I also have a mask around this too, so you'll see it at the bottom how it's a bit curved. That's actually a mask that I created. That's actually like a oval, so if I swing my arm over it, you'll see the whole thing. See? Yeah, I've been doing this for a bit of time. What's this madness? Just watch you doing Twitch now? Yeah, Fover, I'm all over the place, man. Unfortunately, Nelson, I'm going to have to call it a night after this one. Alright, let's keep going.
And he set his thrusters to his power consignment to thrusters. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to hang around.
A screenshot?
He's not going to tell me when he goes. He's just going to go, and then I'm going to chase him down and see if I can get him. And see how
what
easy
is this music?
Cargo runner. See
is
how
this
easy
like the default YouTube music?
I'm a better pilot than Kill Thanos in what I can do. Plus, Kill Thanos is having some issues with his controls, and so you'll see whether
holy shit
that Kill Thanos is acting as a novice cargo runner, and I'm acting as a semi-professional.
It's so loud. Is it? I've dropped it down. It's like the classic, the music. Oh yeah, the music's overpowering his voice. I forgot last time we watched one of his videos, he kept just saying Kill Thanos, his buddy's name. And I forgot, like, we should do a Kill Thanos counter. Anyway, let's keep going. I'm going to be here all night if we keep stopping.
Chaser, pirate. And so this is what we're going to do. So let's get into this one, guys. Let's see if we can simulate the master modes If we've missed anything, guys, let us know in the comments, and you'll see that I'm just going to put Kill Thanos on screen now.
Oh
and
no!
You'll see on his screen
Kill
he doesn't
Thanos.
have any shields once he turns them off, and he doesn't have any weapons once he
Hold
turns
up.
them off. So let's jump into this one.
Just gonna move my camera out of the way. Where are we? It's that one. And then that one. Right. Fucking hell. Like, this is full screen for me and I can't see his power triangle or anything.
One.
Okay.
Thank you for the follow there, Shady.
Everything should be off.
Right, let me have a quick look. Your screen. Right, so
What is this resolution? What the fuck?
Oh, what P?
Yeah. Right, press P.
Why?
Press P.
Why do you want to push P?
Because it takes shields off or your weapons, one of them.
You're off.
They're not like it's in.
I just turned them off.
No, you mean. Yeah, there you go. They're off now.
Boba!
Then press
Okay,
O to make sure you got. Well, I can't see a shield. Press O, there's your shields off.
What is he doing? That's crazy. Welcome. That's a really good question. I have no fucking idea. That's what I'm working at. You guys can't see. I'm putting my camera back on. There's nothing happening. It's a fucking video. You can cut this shit out. You don't need to sit here and have a fucking discussion on why you should press the fucking button. Hey, Ozil, thank you very much for dropping another sub group of subs. Man. Like, this doesn't need to be in the fucking video.
Right, left hand side. So if you look at left hand side,
Yeah.
where you've got no target.
I'm looking at
Okay,
your middle.
keep going.
I'm looking at your middle ship.
No, don't go for the middle. Go for the left hand side. There's a red circle.
Yeah.
You see my mouse?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
I
you
can
can't.
see the circle. I can see the circle, yeah.
That's what happens when
Right, so
okay.
yeah, you've got no shields. You've definitely got no shields. Okay.
Right.
Because I know
You
that
definitely got no
right, so
shit.
take off a minute. Take off and just float because you're hitting stuff there and going to damage yourself.
See.
I'm just setting my position.
So obviously you're setting it there, but I
Just saying, we don't know how mask mode will work with QED and title screen or end screen title. Yeah, like there's speculation, a little bit of information given out by Yogi, but even CIG is not 100% sure, or they're not 100% ready to be releasing that info. But you know, like this, he's a noob to Star Citizen. Obviously, he's selling the dream. And the dream is in their head that they will be able to escape pirates just by flying away in nav mode.
wouldn't be facing you.
No, you might not be facing me. No, I want you to face wherever you want to face, and then I'm gonna just target you basically. Well, I'm not gonna target you. I'm gonna see you. So I could be over here. I
Thanks, Mikey. Thanks for dropping in, man.
Which I am now. So I could be
Happy
sat on
streaming.
a rock, which I'll do.
Catch you later, mate.
Sit down over here on a rock and wait for you.
Yeah.
He's perching the ship like a rock. Oh, like a rock.
Yeah.
He's perching the ship on a rock like a hawk.
Okay, cool.
Even though he's in
So
a
what I
buccaneer.
need to do is set my shields to T.
Why is everything so bright for him? Like he's on
down,
Daymar and it's
went to the,
yellow as
went to
fuck.
the Setting my shields to T. My power triangle to T.
Why?
There we are.
So how many meters away? 600 meters, aren't you?
700 meters, yeah. So I'm going to target you and then untarget you.
Okay.
Right. So what you're going to do is, I'm here. I'm ready for targeting you. I'm out of the armistice zone. You're in the armistice zone. You've got cargo. I've set my speed. It's been set now to 224. You've got full speed with your shields off, your weapons off. So that's master modes, and your power priority is set to thrusters. My power priority is set between no thrusters and set to guns and shields.
Yeah.
So
why?
What you're going to do is you're going to mimic leaving there and getting away from me.
Yeah, I'm just going to go, so you won't know when I'm going.
Yeah.
You've got to be on your guard.
Yeah, so I'm just going to be floating around.
All right. Okay, so...
Waiting for you.
He's going. He's flying away.
I'm off. Oh, I'm out. Where the fuck?
Where are you going?
I'm up. I'm up.
Like, there's the problems that you guys are highlighting here. Oh no, he's got PTU access. You guys might be able to see that, like, just below the bottom of the text there is the testing text. He's in the PTU. Here's the thing. Like, if this is, if the person who's playing the pirate doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, then yeah, that C2 is going to get away. But that's not because of master modes and the cargo hauler being able to run away because of nav mode, enabling them to move faster than the pirates. It's because the pirate is retarded and doesn't know what they're fucking doing. This is literally a skill issue. Yeah, I had to. I needed to process, like noobs. And if you eventually see this, mate, you fucking need to learn how to pirate first before you even attempt to do this sort of shit. Like, don't sit there and try and fucking make a video about how you think that cargo haulers are going to run away based on this test. You guys might be able to hear the thunder, I don't know. This test is shit. Your positioning for, a QED ship is shit. The fact that you're using a Buccaneer instead of a fucking proper QED ship is shit. Like, you are proving that you do not know enough about the subject that you're talking about here to even be making this video. And then the content of this video is shit. Like, if you're trying to present this as informational, it doesn't matter if it's coming from a stream or whatever. If you're putting it on YouTube, cut it down to the parts that people actually want to watch. I don't need to hear you and your mate fucking having a good old chin wag about why you should be turning your weapons off or anything like that. Thing is that I don't want to discourage him from trying to play Star Citizen. I don't want to discourage him from trying to play the game, but you fucking do not possess the knowledge yet and to be doing this. You're not at the level yet to be sitting here and saying, hey, cargo runners will be able to run away. You're effectively setting players up for failure. Blue, hello. Welcome. But it's a problem. Like, this video is how many views has this thing got? 1,900 views. Really good testing, guys. This will be interesting to see live. Questions: are turrets active or disabled for shields down mode? Also, could pirates use a... Look at this. Look at this. I like when players try new things and test the game and mechanics. Master modes are not the end-all be-all. It's just a new mechanic. Griefers looking for easy prey and an alpha will hate the changes. Real pirates will develop tactics that allow PvP. I think this is good for cargo runners. It's the Devil's Reaper. If he didn't have the landing gear out when he landed, that video would have already been over. I'm a better pilot than he is an understatement. Everyone who doesn't crash land is a better pilot. Where is your comment, Nelson? War Dog. There is a lot wrong with this testing. I will assume that you're operating under the assumption that having the QED dampener active will be putting you into combat mode. If that is the case, then we can logically assume that catching a target within the 2-kilometer dampening range will automatically drop the target into combat mode. Wouldn't make sense otherwise. First thing, you should be in a Mantis or Blue. Second, you should have your limiter set to the boost speed of the Mantis / Blue or Gladius for testing, and full powder engines, being as you're not going to be shooting the target until you have them dampened. Alright. We're going to keep reading. Going to be shooting the target until you have them dampened comfortably, so powder engines will give you maximum amount of boost you can get. Third, you should be sitting approximately 4.5 kilometers directly above the outpost / target, as it's the approximate range that the QED will activate. Any closer, it will shut down due to the green zone. Sitting directly above the target gives you the best overall starting point, unless you know with 100% certainty what direction your target will be going. In the examples that you showed, your target flew almost straight up. Had you been above him, you would have had a nice simple merge and he would have been dampened and dropped into combat mode. If your target flies out of the outpost on a 30 to 45 degree upward angle, then you would fly above them, slowly lowering for the merge, but not too quickly, or you would clip the green zone and shut off QED. You'd be able to boost for the entire duration of the chase based on the boost durations currently in Arena Command and Master modes. The Mantis has superior acceleration over cargo ships, so you should have very little issues keeping up with merging and dampening your target, forcing them into combat mode before they reach a quantum ceiling. There are always exceptions, of course, but a decent QED pilot should have no problems transitioning to Master modes and catching targets regularly. What's he got to say? This was tested to look at the speed difference mainly and time on target. There is more tests to do. The problem with the Mantis is as no cargo space, so a solo player would not be able to get the cargo. I'm not sure if QED will be active in nav mode. If not, then the pirate cannot chase and have QED on. There will be many... Fucking... No. War Dog, I understand, but if you're going to test from a pirate's perspective, then you should do it the way a pirate would. What the fuck did I say? Most pirates don't pirate solo, but I've done it in Mantis before. I take a delivery box with me so I can mark the location of the wreck once I've the target's soft death. Then I'll switch my Mantis out for a cargo ship and use a box beacon to find my way back to the wreck and unload. If QED can't be on in nav mode, then it has to be done as I explained in my OP. It will be possible. QED ships can accelerate faster than cargo ships. With boost, they'll be able to get their targets in dampening range before they can jump. If QED is only available in combat mode, then that means dampening the target will have to put it in combat mode too, or else there's no point to a dampener. there's one problem, like, Nelson, I'll read out your comment. So you assume that TRG doesn't change QED with master modes. They've talked about QED with master modes and will most likely force you into SCM. So this exact solution will not happen. This is like testing trading, but only with waste. All right. Here's the thing. Everything that War Dog has said, pretty much everything that, you know, the pirates who are commenting in chat that are saying is true. There's a problem with this though, I take, and this is one of the few times where I'm actually going to say this. And this will probably be the last video that I react to from this guy too, because I was seriously considering not reacting, considering old mates, you know, talking about pirates and has no fucking idea what he's on about. He's fishing for info and essentially getting free information handed to him in a format where he can then just take it for himself and then regurgitate it on his own channel. So I'm always wary about giving advice out when it comes to piracy and how you should do things, which is why one of the reasons why I always direct people, hey, go watch this video, go consume this information. So at the end of the day, it's like everything that War Dog said to, you know, in those comments, it's like, yeah, that's exactly how the test should go. If I was going to do the test, that's exactly how I'd do it. But here's the thing is that, you know, you've essentially just handed him the script for the next video that he can make. Which is why I'm wary, because old mates made a video and, like, you know, you can sit there and say it's, you know, bloody he's new, he's a noob and all that sort of stuff. He's got fucking, what is it, 3,700 people following him right now. 1,900 views. Like, there's a point where fucking you could be considered exploiting the whole noob title and going, yeah, fucking we don't know what we're doing, but we're still making videos and talking about Star Citizen. I don't like that. This is one of the times, and because piracy is my wheelhouse, if you come into my wheelhouse and you start talking shit as though you know what you're on about, you're going to get smacked down. I'm not even going to bother watching the rest of this. Like, just that one test there tells me everything that I need to know. This is a dumb test. You don't know what you're on about. Stop fucking trying to make videos on things that you don't know about. You're embarrassing yourself. I'm not even going to bother relinking that either. All right. That's pretty much it for me. Like, I was really hoping that that video was going to be a bit better than what it turned out to be. But yeah, that actually frustrates me a lot. Seeing a video like that being pushed out and people making comments like that on a video as though old mate's fucking sounds like he knows what he's on about. I think it's still going to be a while before society catches up with the fact that any dickhead can get on the internet, put their face on, you know, a camera, or put a camera in front of their face, go on the internet and start talking. Anyone can do that. Doesn't mean that you know what you're fucking on about. Holy shit, Ozzel, you need to calm down with the subs, mate. Thank you very much, though, for gifting out that sub. I didn't think that animation was going to play. Yeah, look, noobs, if you end up watching this, mate, fucking learn how to do piracy before you start trying to practice or before you start doing tests. It's cheap in your country, that's alright, mate. So yeah. It's frustrating seeing that sort of stuff being put out there, especially when CIG hasn't even released enough information for pirates, the people who do, you know, piracy gameplay on the regular to even comment on. And you got somebody essentially creating false hope under the pretense, oh, I'm a noob and this is what I think. It's like, well, you know, you're flat out wrong and you're bloody selling off your information and pushing content out there onto others. Pushing content out onto others, trying to inform them. Doesn't sit right with me, man. I'm going to put information out there on the internet. I'm at least going to make sure that I fucking know what I'm on about in the first place. Anyway, that's it for this stream, guys. I'm going to call it a night. I need to go to bed and get some sleep at a reasonable time. I've got an early start for work tomorrow. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming along. Appreciate it, especially for the reactions and rant stream. I'm not going to lie, it was a bit light this week, and we still managed to pull through somehow. Before we head off, though, there's 15 of you, so let's do a raid. I'm just going to keep doing raids until there's supposed to be some sort of achievement associated with them. I don't know. But I want to raid a channel. Has anybody got any suggestions on who to raid? Is someone starting up soon? Needs a 15 or 15, maybe a 14. I don't know. I'm on Twitch and I still don't know how it works. Let's keep the party going with a Star Citizen stream. Stalkers Piracy. Where is that? Starfield DSC killer. Yeah, very few people are playing Star Citizen at the moment. Where are we? I do not see Stalkers Piracy. Are they live? Oh, there it is. They're AFK according to this. Let's have a look at what's going on in their channel. They look like they're French. AFK. French, or is that Spanish? Spanish. They've got 11 followers. Who else is there? PC 101. Let's go back one. PC 101 wants to 1v1 an Idris. That sounds like a fucking perfect stream to go on raid. Alright guys, we're going to go raid PC 101. Thank you very much everybody for coming along. My next stream is going to be tomorrow night starting at 7:30 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time GMT plus 10. It's Wednesday, so it'll be me in an Arena Commander getting good at flight combat maybe, or if we're still in the PTU then I'll probably just do a shit ton of gun rush and see if I can leg drop more corpses, because that was fun as fuck. But yeah, let's get this raid going. PC 101. We're gonna go watch him 1v1 an Idris. Can any merit guys check out Gilded? Also, I'll see if anybody's online for it. Might be struggling though. There might be someone around. Anyway, thank you very much everybody for coming along. I'll catch you all tomorrow. Let's go do this raiding. Let's get ready to go. I'm not very good at hyping people up. Come on. There's 19 of yous. 13 only ready to rave. Alright, fuck it. We're going. Bye.